Hi, Mary Leakian, an executive coach, and I want to talk today a little bit about the anxiety that's building up in people and in their work cultures and in their homes regarding their fears around the coronavirus. I see it in my clients, I see it in my employees, and I even see it in myself and my family. And I want to give you specific information, specific tactics that my clients are using and that I'm helping my staff with to be able to manage this crisis of uncertainty, because we're all grieving the way things used to be. Work life is not the way it used to be. Our family life, our freedom, right now, we don't have that. And the sooner that we can become comfortable with the uncertainty that is before us, the more resilience we'll have and the more power we will have. And the only way that comes is from first being able to admit how uncomfortable this situation is. To be able to sit with our families, with our colleagues, with our staff and say, how are you feeling right now? What are you sensing? Let's get that out on the table and deal with it. I did that in a staff meeting. There were tears, there was frustration. And when we can be open and honest about that and create that safe environment, we can allow those feelings to breathe and release. But when we stuff them inside and we know we can't control what's going on, it becomes incredibly frustrating and unproductive. So I think number one, we all have to have a little humility and give ourselves a little forgiveness and say, I don't have this all figured out because I can't control any of it. I want to focus on what it is that I do have control over, and that is my own peace, my own resilience, and my own calm. And I do that by being uncomfortable with the demons of uncertainty, because there are a lot of them out there right now. We're watching our investment portfolio tank. We don't know, some of us, if we're going to be furloughed or laid off or terminated. We don't know what the future is going to be for our industry. We're worried about our own health. People in the healthcare environment are worried if there is enough personal protective equipment out there to protect them from getting the coronavirus. You're worried about going to a park and passing somebody and maybe picking up the virus. Breathe, breathe, and let's know we know how to stay safe. They've told us exactly what to do to stay safe. Let's follow the rules. It's very simple. Stay home. If you go out and you're going to be around people, wear a mask. It's not too hard to follow the directions. We don't have to be the exception. Let's follow the protocols right there in front of us. The other thing is, what are you doing to give yourself some breathing space? I spilled all of my art supplies out today. I'm not an artist. I'm a CEO of an organization and an executive coach. The last thing I'm really good at is art, but I like to do it anyway. I have a good time painting with watercolors. I have a good time knitting. Not really good at that either, but I've made most of my children's scarves, and let's face it, it's getting warmer and they don't really need them, but I'm still knitting scarves because I like it. Someone will eventually use them, and it brings me peace. It's a very mindful thing to do. What are you reading? I mean, I'm sitting here with my magazines. I read Mindful Magazine, I read Watercolor Magazine, I read a lot of different material around calm, peace, executive presence, executive leadership. Now is the time to do all of the things you always complained you didn't have time to do. Those crafts that you like, reading the books that you like, that you never have time for, taking those online classes, webinars, and trainings that you've never had time for. Now is the time to do that. You have that time now. So let's jumpstart that. Let's get into the things that we can control. Let's get excited about those things. And when it comes to the fear and anxiety of, am I going to get this virus? Am I going to have a job? And all these things that are out of our control, we can watch and observe mindfully how those come up within us, and then we can allow them to float by like a cloud in the sky, or we can walk by them like we would a barking dog tied to a tree as you walk away from it, or we can turn them down like we would the volume of a stereo. Those are ways that we can cope with those fears and those constant perseverative thoughts that come up that we really don't find helpful. So hopefully these little tips will inspire you to do something today. Connect with nature. My husband and I just got back from a long walk with our dog. Walk outside, get out something that you've always enjoyed doing and do it. Read, create, because I think you have a lot more power inside of you than you're giving yourself credit for. And I can't wait to see what you do with that. So wishing you a peaceful day and stay safe.